Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some more F1 2020 My Team Season 2. Now, we are heading on into the Austrian and Silverstone Grand Prix in this episode. After last episode, we did not have a great French Grand Prix, but we're hoping for a good result in Austria because it is a good racetrack for us, and we've done bits in previous season. So, yeah, let's head on into our R&D screen first. I think we can do a minor upgrade here with 887 resource points in the bank. I am thinking maybe it's time to do a cockpit weight reduction minor upgrade, so let's do that quickly. Get a standard upgrade going for that. Looking at our progress history, we are still top of the table here, but Red Bull have overtaken Racing Point and Mercedes, so it's going to be a tight race between Red Bull and us. So let's see if we can keep up the hard work in Austria. Vehicle wise, we are doing okay on wear. I think I might go one more Grand Prix on the current components and then switch them out for new components afterwards. Preparing for the Spielberg Arena, or the Austria Grand Prix, but before we go in, I want to include an upgrade, trigger one before we go, and I think I'm going to do the energy store minor upgrade with durability, just because I have been neglecting durability for a while, so we will get that in rushed. Maybe we'll give it a shot. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do, and then we are ready for the Grand Prix itself. So let's head on into qualifying, which is dry, as well as the race, which is dry. So let's see if we can get another pole position. Alright, first lap of Q1 is not all too decent, but we are sitting at P3, which is quite impressive. One more run here, maybe. Alright, our second lap is a lot better, 2/10 faster, but we're still at P6. Damn it, P6. Our two runs were good enough to see us through to Q2. Right now we are sitting at P8 with a 105.3. The time to beat is 104.4, so I think we can aim for a 104 flat maybe, or somewhere around there, maybe 104.2. Jack Aitken also makes it to Q2, so it's looking good. Knocked out are Giovinazzi, De Vries, Grosjean, Magnussen, Latifi, and Norris. The McLaren seems to be struggling a little, but Carlos Sainz makes it, so we'll see what happens in Q2. Let's head on in. Alright, our first lap of Q2 is looking good, 104.5. We are just behind Max Verstappen. I think this should be good enough to see us through to Q3. Let's see. Our one run is good enough, as we are sitting at P2, just behind Max Verstappen by 1/10 of a second. Jack Aitken is sitting at P10, so we're all heading on into Q3. So let's see if we can get another pole position. Our first lap of Q3 is looking decent. We're in P4 right now. I'm gonna go one more run here. Alright, our second lap is 5/10 better, maybe 4/10 better. Just behind Max Verstappen. Goodness me. Maybe one more run on softs would do wonders here. So we did not have enough time for another run, but look at this top three of the Austrian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen edges out ahead of us by approximately 2/10 a second, so he is quite fast in that Red Bull. We are in second place, so we finish out the front row, which is a good sign because we can easily overtake Max Verstappen before the first turn and then try to maintain a P1 position throughout the whole race. And then look, Jack Aitken got P3, so it looks like this might be the weekend for a Su Motorsport podiums all around. So let's see if we can do that as we head on into race weekend.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let me ask you about the new Racing Point driver. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position and Falcon completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Aitken, Bottas, Sergio Perez and Hamilton, Stroll, Ricciardo, Russell and Charles Leclerc, Kvyat, Vettel, Esteban Ocon and Sainz, Albon, Norris, Nicholas Latifi and Kevin Magnussen, Grosjean, De Vries, Giovinazzi and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Right, Jeff here. Can you hear me? Good luck today. We can make a top 10 position, so give it 100%.
Indeed, we can get a top 10 position. I'm aiming for a podium here. Let's take a look at our race strategy to make sure that we do get a podium finish. Let's see, mediums don't seem to work all too well into the strategy. It's approximately 5 seconds slower. So yeah, that's not really an option. We're going to revert strategy back to hards. Going to drop our fuel load to approximately 1 lap below target. Oops, is that 2 laps? Yeah, that's 2 laps. We can't go that low. We'll go 48 kilograms, approximately 1 lap below target. Car setup is okay. Yes, this is the correct setup. I mean, I'm ready for the race, so let's head on in. Hope for a P1 finish. Here we go, getting ready to race in Austria. Spielberg circuit, 5 red lights, and Rich and overtake engaged. Oh, decent start here. Overtake engaged, trying to get past Max Verstappen as fast as we can. First turn overtake, let's go. Overtake engaged as well, trying to get away from Max Verstappen. Now we're 5/10 ahead of him. P1 secured, hopefully. I may speak too soon here. A little lockup as we make the turn 3 turn there. Looking good, alright. Uh-oh, there's a yellow flag behind us, but it looks like it's okay now. Alright, we're looking good so far. Dropping down to standard fuel mixture. Uh-oh, Max Verstappen made it right behind us now. We'll take a corner cut there. That was frame drops on my screen. Frame drops, drop top. Fastest lap, of course. Another frame drop. Oh, this is gonna be hell. Going rich and overtake because Max Verstappen's on my tail now. But we got the straight line speed to go past him. Alright, more rich fuel mixture. We gotta stay standard because I want to save some fuel for some faster laps later on in the Grand Prix. Oh my goodness. Max Verstappen just offed himself. Okay, that's one way of securing a dub, I guess. Okay, I don't know. Doesn't show me that far as to the why the collision happened, but Max Verstappen just lost it. Now he's in the gravel. Does he have front wing? Yeah, he has front wing damage. I don't know what happened here. Why did he collide? Why? I think he bumped into me. Anyway, I mean, I always get blamed for everything, so we continue, cause dang, I don't know what happened.
Some information on Aitken. They seem to have an issue.
Oh no, 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 no. Durability is killing us, man. I need to invest more in durability. Oh my goodness, Daniel Kvyat is out. Oh goodness. Okay, there we go. We're good. Alright, we're back to standard. We saved some fuel, which is good. Yeah, let's pit. Let's pit for hard compound tires. Hards, yes. Pitting for hard compound tires. Ricardo's right behind me too. Bottas is also in. Hamilton's going one more lap. Oh no, we're double stacking. I knew this would happen. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Alright, almost Red Bull level. 2 seconds should be good enough to see Jack Aitken also get. Should also see Jack Aitken get a service pretty quickly. Let's see if we can go for fastest lap here on fresh hard compound tires. Max Verstappen got it on softs, but let's see if it is possible, if our car is rapid enough to do them in hard compound tires. Alright, penultimate lap is a go. We just overtook Nick De Vries backmarker cars, and there are a bunch of others around us. Seems like Ricardo is behind us approximately 3 seconds, and I've been maintaining that throughout all like 10-20 laps or so. And yeah, it's been a relatively quiet Grand Prix for me. I just managed to drive well in front pretty much. And that's all I've been doing. 50% tire wear as we reach the end of the Grand Prix, so things are looking very good. We should be on target to end the Grand Prix as expected. P1 finish. Max Verstappen continuing his streak of fastest laps. I'm just gonna end the Grand Prix here, show you guys the final bits of the race here. There's been a lot of frame drops on the screen, so it's been a little difficult trying to keep it up. Like look, Ricardo's delta has dropped to 2 seconds all of a sudden because I made a mistake at a frame drop. But yeah, otherwise it's been a decent race. I enjoyed the Spielberg circuit. It's a lot of fun. It's very clean racing, a lot of top speed racing here and there. So it was a lot of fun putting the pedal to the metal and just pushing the car to its limits. Here we go, Giovinazzi ahead of us, blue flag, but I don't know if I can overtake him. Let's try to give you guys something to watch here. Oh, look at this amazing overtake. Way. And here we are entering the start finish straight to secure a P1 fin.
That's a race win. You've really been great today.
The most bizarre end to the race.
There's a few disappointed faces up and down the pit wall after that one, but not here. They've secured a phenomenal victory. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, You can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own, and that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium.
Well, it seems like our broken car made it past the finish line, and that counts apparently, but marshals have dragged us to the Parc Fermé position of P1, so yes, another victory. Alright, so here we are at the final results page here. We get podium, P1 finish, we win the Austrian Grand Prix. Ricardo's just behind us by approximately 1.3 seconds because I crashed into the wall. Hamilton is just behind that to round out the podium. Perez, Bottas, Russell, Stroll, Aitken, Ocon, and Vettel round out the rest of the top 10 points positions. Jack had a durability issue with his engine, so he was pretty slow for the remainder of the Grand Prix, which is such a bummer, so we do need to invest in our durability department a little more. The rest of the grid looks like this: Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Norris, Albon, Magnussen, Grosjean, Latifi, Giovinazzi, De Vries, and Kvyat and Gasly, who do not finish the race. The two AlphaTauris suffer a DNF, but a collision with Verstappen was an interesting one that sees him drop down the grid. He was pretty much the strongest driver out there, minus that Ricciardo stole the fastest lap towards the end of the Grand Prix. Verstappen held that record for the longest time, like he was hitting fastest lap during like lap 20s even. So that is quite interesting to see, but he wasn't able to bump up into the points. Looking at the standings, we see that Bottas still holds the lead. Ricciardo is just behind him by 7 points. Lewis Hamilton is now 16 points behind Bottas. We jump up to P5 again. I think we were trailing Leclerc by 1 point, but we have overtaken him after a victory here in Austria. We are now 92 points in P5, just behind Max Verstappen, who is on 138. So let's try and push further up the table if we can. Constructor standings wise, we are also in P5 there with 119 points. We are 175 points away from Mercedes, where Red Bull and Mercedes seem to be trading Grand Prix after Grand Prix for points. So their struggle up there is good for us, as we can try to overtake them in the near future. Here we go. It is time to find a new teammate, apparently. Let's take a look at the driver market just to see what we can afford. We currently have 11.45 million in the bank, so anyone under 11 mil should be within our reach. So that includes Magnussen, Russell, Giovinazzi, Latifi, Jack, Nick De Vries, Mick Schumacher, and all the F2, or rather the selected F2 drivers. Yeah, things are looking interesting. I think for the rest of the season I will remain with Jack Aitken, and I think I'm going to try to foster him into a bigger F1 driver. I think we are able to do it. So let's go back, let's renegotiate with teammate and give him a high offer. Okay, approach accepted. I want to go for a low risk, high money offer, because he does invest that money into his perks and stuff. So I'm gonna sign with him for the rest of the season and keep the Sue Motorsport, the Sue Aitken partnership going. So let's see. There we go. We signed Jack for the rest of the season. So it seems that he is 76 rated now, 40 experience, 61 racing, 68 awareness, and 80 pace. So I'm quite satisfied with his progression here, and let us continue the season with Jack. We still have some funds left to use, so we're going to invest in our resource point generation, $6 million. Let us invest in that with the remaining money that we have. So yes, we lose out on a durability upgrade, so we have to restart that one. We do have to focus a lot of our energy here in durability because of Jack Aitken's issue. And we are ready for the next Grand Prix, which is at Silverstone, United Kingdom. So let's head on in, and then we'll see how we do here. Alright, the practice session at Silverstone is complete. Before we head on in, I want to switch out some engine components. I think it is time we get new engines fitted in, so I think we are going for a brand new component here, another brand new component here, and then what else? A brand new component here, I guess. Penalty warning, okay. Cancel, I'm not taking a penalty this Grand Prix, so let's go for the less worn component. I'd say we head on into a new component there, and then we'll keep that one because it's the least worn component as well. Gearbox wise, we should be good. We have one more race on this one. Car is fitted and ready. Take a look at the R&D screen here. We got a couple majors in, I think, or one major upgrade, and now we are miles in front of the Mercedes and Red Bull cars. So we are and should be capable of, you know, really pushing the car to its limits and then getting another P1 finish here. So I'm gonna sim practice 3 and then go on into qualifying. Alright, first lap of Q1 is decent. We're sitting at P10. I'm just going to give it one more run here because I feel like we could improve on it. Alright, our second lap of Q1 looks really good. 8/10 faster, and we're P3 behind Ricciardo and Hamilton. I think that should be good enough to see us into Q2. It is good enough as we sit P3 just ahead of Jack Aitken, who is 2/10 slower than us, but Lewis Hamilton, Ricciardo, and ourselves round out the top 3. Romain Grosjean, De Vries, Magnussen, Leclerc, Albon, and Gasly get knocked out of Q1. Let's head on into Q2. Alright, lap 2 of Q2 is approximately 6/10 faster. We are still very close to Lance Stroll, who is 5/100ths of a second faster than us, but I think we should be good enough to see us through to Q3. There we go, we are progressing into Q3 as we sit 5/100ths of a second behind Lance Stroll. Jack Aitken is 3rd as well, so he sees himself into Q3 as well. So we are both in Q3. Giovinazzi, Kvyat, Latifi, Vettel, Ricciardo, and Bottas miss out as they are knocked out in Q2. It looks like Leclerc is missing. Did he get a... Yeah, he's not in here. He must have disqualified, or he got knocked out in Q1. Anyway, we're heading on into Q3. Ooh, another fastest lap in Q3. Stealing it from Hamilton. Let's see if this stays as a P1. Oh, it would be great to start from pole position again, I'm telling you. There we go, we secure another pole position, stealing it from Hamilton by 1/10 of a second. Jack Aitken is 6/10 behind us and rounds out the top 3 spots for the Silverstone Grand Prix. Starting at pole means we have a good chance of getting another P1 finish, so let's see if we can get podiums all around with Jack Aitken and ourselves sharing the spots in the top 3. Let's head on into the race.
Great Britain then, one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every single year of the Formula One World Championship. And the circuit extends that record further for today's Grand Prix. The 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit in Great Britain is hallowed ground to the Formula One faithful. We have 18 corners that wrap around this former World War II airbase and some good passing opportunities at the end of the DRS zones. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run, I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running 2nd and 3rd, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Falcon lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Aitken, Perez, Max Verstappen and Ocon, Russell, Sainz, Norris and Lance Stroll, Bottas, Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel and Latifi, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Pierre Gasly and Alexander Albon, Leclerc, Magnussen, De Vries and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
More like a podium finish, if you ask me. We are in prime position for a podium finish. If you take a look at our session forecast here, we have a little warning towards the end of the race, which is a bit of rain. So we may need to pit for some intermediates or, I don't know, like some kind of wet tires towards the end. Let's take a look and edit our strategy to prepare for that. I think we will pit in lap 10 and go for mediums, and then we'll dive in for the intermediates or wet tires depending on the conditions. Classic UK weather, if you ask me. Dropping our fuel load down to 25 laps ish. So let's go down to 45 kilograms. That should be good. Car setup should be set for a good session. 3.7 wings is fine. And yeah, things are looking good. Let's hope for a good Grand Prix. Here we go, getting ready for the Silverstone UK Grand Prix. Rich. There we go. Overtake deployed. Better start than Hamilton as we leave him behind in the dust. First turn taken well. Second turn also taken well. A little lockup into turn 3, which is fine. A little lockup into turn 4. As we punch it now for the along DRS straight, the first of many here. Okay. Ooh, 5/10 ahead of Hamilton. 3/10 ahead of Hamilton. Goodness me. Alright. Ooh, good series of turns to see us still in first place, trying to extend the gap to Hamilton. Alright, here we go, start finish straight with the fastest lap, of course. Ah, little shaky bit of turns there, and I think I took a warning, but that's fine. Another fastest lap, beautiful. I went wide at the end. Oh, Perez stole it. Perez stole it, and Lando Norris stole then.
A lot of fuel already. We're going to have to start conserving earlier than we'd like.
Oh boy. Right on my tail, but it looks like Jack Aitken overtook Hamilton just there. Alright, letting Jack get his service first, and then we will pit afterwards. We're gonna push now. Try to halt Hamilton as much as we can. Took that turn poorly. Now Hamilton is catching. That's fine. Alright, we're coming in for our pit stop now. Dropping down to lane, going to mediums. Everyone's pitting. Everyone on soft compound tires is pitting, except for Leclerc? Maybe. Looks like Leclerc is still going. Yep, Leclerc is proceeding. Let's see what kind of service we get in this one. Hopefully a quick one. 1.9, let's go. 1.9, 1.9. Nah, it's slow. Oh, it is! It's a 1.9! Yes! That's good, that's brilliant. Got a decent pit stop, meaning we can really press. Oh, please be ahead of Jack. Please be ahead of Jack. Please be ahead of Jack. Drive, 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 drive. Alright, Jack is behind us on well, we are in fresher mediums anyway, so Latifi and Magnussen are ahead of us. They still need to box. Good exit, good exit, good exit. Alright, we're 1.15 laps in the deficit, so we need to start fuel saving a little. Gotta play this smart.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes time.
Alright,
rain in 10 minutes.
Yes. Sounds bad, man. Rain in 10 minutes, so we need to put on some intermediates just before the end, I think. We're gonna see out the rest of the race on mediums if possible, but if rain does hit us before the end, we are dipping for intermediates as soon as DRS is disabled. Oh, Daniel Ricciardo is out. Is that a safety car moment? I don't know. Rich and overtake. Oh god. Hamilton's right on my tail. Oh, Jack is quick, yo. Jack is quick. Fastest lap for Jack Aitken. Beautiful. Weather report. Weather.
Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Okay, so 10 to 15 minutes. Not quite sure what that means. Oh, that is gonna be really tight towards the end of the Grand Prix, so we gotta push as much as we can for now. Jack is gone. Jack is long gone. I gave him the place because he is one faster than I am. Because AI can drive like wicked well. And I'm better at defending than him, so I'm gonna defend P2 and try to get a top 2 finish for both of us. So let's see if that is possible. Oh, here come the first droplets of rain. I just saw some drops.
Looks like rain is inbound, and we're expecting it in around 5 minutes.
Ooh, 5 minutes
till
now.
the rain.
5 minutes till rain, alright. Let's hope DRS gets disabled just before we hit the pit lane. Because if it gets disabled, it means it's going to be bad rain, meaning it's intermediate condition. Oh my god, the rain has just gotten worse as we enter the final lap of the Grand Prix. Ooh, Verstappen. Oh, Bottas actually is right behind us now. Come on. Oh, I'm definitely losing traction. Oh goodness. The wet weather is really coming in. Oh, it's coming in hard. I'm losing traction on this on the grid here. Ooh. Oh, I'm sliding. I think all the other cars are struggling too. Oh goodness, this is an interesting end to the Grand Prix. We're on dry compound tires, but the rain is really making it difficult to drive. Took a tiny bump there. Oh my god, we're slip and sliding. Alright, here we go. Oh, DRS disabled. Okay, just in time as Bottas was about to get DRS on us. Dang. Okay, it's looking good. I think we can complete the Grand Prix in second place. It was a good idea dropping back and letting Jack Aiken take P1 because look at them. He is 7 seconds ahead. Oh god, huge lockup. Oh, lost the back end there. Okay. Oh. Slip and sliding as we enter the start-finish race. Second place. Let's go.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you've pulled through. Thank you.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top three finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today.
Congratulations to Jack Aiken, who secures his first P1 position, his first P1 trophy. We end up in P2, defending it very well to make sure that we got as many points as possible. Jack Aiken also got the fastest lap. What a race weekend and what a race at Silverstone. What a result it is at Silverstone. Jack Aiken gets a P1 finish at his home Grand Prix or semi-home Grand Prix in the United Kingdom. We secure a P2, defending the positions very well. There were moments when Hamilton and Verstappen were, dangerously close to overtaking us and possibly attacking Jack, but we did very well to defend that and to make sure that no one made it past us. I think that was a great strategy decision from myself, where I let Jack take over and take P1, and then I sacrificed myself for P2 to defend that position. So we pretty much got maximum points, minus the one from the fastest lap, which Valtteri Bottas secures. I completely forgot. Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, Stroll, Leclerc, Perez, and Vettel round out the top 10 points positions from the Grand Prix weekend. Norris, Gasly, Kvyat, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Albon, Magnussen, Verstappen, Grosjean, Latifi, De Vries, and Ricciardo round out the rest of the grid. Ricciardo not being able to finish the Grand Prix. I was crapping myself there, wondering if a safety car was going to come out, but thankfully it did not, and we were able to secure the top 2 positions. Looking at the driver's standings, we secure some good points to bridge the gap between Verstappen and ourselves. Now we are 28 points behind Verstappen, which is just 1 or 2 Grand Prix away. Bottas is on 171 and he is 61 points away, so we are definitely within attacking reach. Jack Aiken bumps up to P11 with 52 points and 119 positions behind. Points behind the leader. In the constructor standings, we bump up to P3. Ferrari and Racing Point drop down as well, I think, but we are at 162 points, which is 158 points away from Mercedes and another 124 points away from Red Bull, which is reachable. It's definitely reachable. All right, so we have a new rivalry with Valtteri Bottas. We share points here to stay tied at 4 points each. 6 races remaining. We won the rivalry against Leclerc, I believe, so that is why Bottas is our new rival. We are now up to level 14 acclaim. Jack is on 10, and we are at a team acclaim of 16, which is a decent result. Money-wise, we get all our sponsorship bonuses at 939.6k, and we have major deductions from damages, and we only get 25k, but that is good enough to see us up to $3.65 million in finances. So what an interesting series of Grand Prix in this video. We managed to do very well in Austria to secure ourselves a P1 finish. Jack Aitken sadly had durability issues in Austria, which saw him really drop down the ranks. He was in P3 at the start of the race and then slowly started climbing down because of engine issues. We managed to stay concentrated and, you know, well driven throughout the whole race to secure P1. But here in Silverstone, the story was completely different because Jack was on top of his driving game. That really turned out to be a great strategy because I was better at defending than Jack. If I had let Jack stay behind, he could have been overtaken by Bottas or Verstappen or Hamilton, and then it would have ended up being a very bad strategy decision from ourselves. But here we are at the end of the Grand Prix with a P1 and P2 finish. Overall, I think these two Grand Prix were stunning. After the French Grand Prix being a disaster and a letdown, I think we did very well to live up to the name of the car and secure a P1 and 2 amongst ourselves. Another thing was of interest was that the rain was a interesting factor in the race at Silverstone because we weren't sure when the rain was going to drop. It said at the end of the Grand Prix that it would be raining, but the rain really did hold out until the very last moment of the final lap. Like within the last half sections of the last lap, it started pouring. So it was really too close to call, and I was actually considering dropping in for intermediates prematurely, but it was a good decision not to do that and try to survive on the mediums. There we are, really P1-2 finish, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe, use the red button down below to make sure that you're notified when the next video goes live, and make sure you hit that bell so you are immediately notified when the next video goes up. I hope you guys have a splendid day and or night and are staying well during these pressing times, and until next time, please take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next Grand Prix.